poll by this Nigeria Decide, an independent research think tank based in the United States. They have actually tipped the Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi as the winner for the upcoming presidential election, followed by Atiku, Tinubu, and Kwankwaso. What's your review of this latest poll?
Peter Obi has been doing very well in these polls, and it suggests one thing to me: a rarefied class of young Nigerians who are very active on social media, who are technologically savvy. They want change, and they believe that Peter Obi represents that change. You see that a lot of the activists who are part of the SARS struggle, they are Obi supporters. Unfortunately, this election won't be decided by people who are techie, people who are very active on social media, people, young, upwardly mobile Nigerians alone. A good number of our people resident in the rural areas, some of them who have not got phones to even take part in these surveys, they are going to vote, and they are going to vote in large numbers. So unless Obi can get such people on their side, unless Obi can get his message across to these downtrodden Nigerians in the north, especially where the bulk of the votes are, there's no way he's going to win the election. But if the surveys are conducted in the manner in which they are conducted, restricted to people who have Android phones, people, the upwardly mobile young Nigerians, they will keep winning all those opinion polls, because that is the class of Nigerians that are desirous of not just change, but of seeing Peter Obi emerge as Nigeria's next president. Young Nigerians who are very angry, they are on Obi's side, and a good number of them are the partakers in these opinion polls that we are seeing being conducted then and now. But the votes reside in many other Nigerians who are not in urban centers. Some of them, there's even no presence of government in their villages, in their hamlets, but they are easier to mobilize for election, and they will come out and vote in this election. So Obi has to work harder, especially in northern Nigeria, or the north central, northeast, and the northwest. By tradition, the northwest will produce the highest number of votes in this election and any other election for that matter, followed by the north central. The north central has more votes by reputation than even the northeast. So that is where Obi has to concentrate his energy. I know that he has gone to the north central on a number of occasions. He appears to enjoy the support of the governor of Benue State, but his support base has to expand. He has to spread his tentacles beyond the Christian North for him to win this election. But talking about those polls, as long as the sampling remains the way they are usually conducted, Peter Obi will keep trouncing the other candidates in opinion polls. I am not surprised at all, but I know that a good number of people who decide who wins elections in our country, they don't even have phones and they don't take part in any form of opinion poll. They just show up on election day to vote for the candidate of their choice. So the grassroots is very important. Obi has to show that he too can play it big in the rural areas of our country where a good number of our poor people reside, especially in northern Nigeria.
Right.
There's a lot of votes on offer in northern Nigeria, especially the northwest. That is the battleground for me, because Atiku and Tinubu would battle themselves seriously in the northwest. And of course, Kwankwaso is there. So that's the main battleground. Peter Obi must show that he can compete and compete effectively in that part of our country. But if election is to be held in our country today, and it's the young people who are angry with the way things are going on in our country, if the election is going to be conducted in our country with only those young people voting, I can tell you that Peter Obi will win by a huge landslide. But election in our country involves that even the older people vote much more than the younger people, despite the fact that the people aged between 19 and 45, they are in a clear majority, but they don't turn out to vote as much as the older generation. So he has to focus on the category of voters that have no access to the internet, have no access to even Android phones, much more taking part in opinion polls.
Right.
But one thing we must admit is that Peter Obi has energized this race. He has made the race tougher for the candidates, and anyone who is conversant with the way with electoral behavior in our country will know that the presidential election will be a tight race. Even Nasser Rufai admitted to that. And Peter Obi has contributed to making it a tight race. But he has to do a lot more if he wants to win the election. Those opinion polls by themselves won't give him victory. Right. It is what he does on the field that will guarantee him victory. He can top a million opinion polls. Yeah. But it will never be the same thing as winning the election.